The Man Who Vanished, The Untold Story of D.B. Cooper. On November 24, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving, a man who called himself Dan Cooper boarded a Northwest Orient Airlines flight from Portland to Seattle. Dressed in a business suit, black tie, and dark sunglasses, he looked like any ordinary businessman. But what happened next would become the only unsolved hijacking in American aviation history. This is the story of D.B. Cooper, the skyjacker, who vanished into thin air and left behind one of the greatest mysteries the FBI has ever faced. Sound of airplane engines, people boarding flights, 1970s atmosphere. It was a cold and rainy afternoon. Flight 305, a Boeing 727, carried only 36 passengers on a short 30-minute trip. Among them sat a man in seat 18C, calm, polite, and unassuming. He lit a cigarette and ordered a bourbon and soda. But hidden inside his briefcase was a simple note that would change everything. He handed the note to a flight attendant. It read, "Miss, I have a bomb." When she nervously sat next to him, Cooper opened his case briefly, showing wires and red sticks. He calmly told her his demands. $200,000 in cash. For parachutes. A fuel truck ready in Seattle for a refueling. No drama. No shouting. Just business. As the plane cruised toward Seattle, passengers had no idea what was happening. Cooper had slipped into character, polite, never threatening anyone. He even offered to pay for the cruise drinks. Meanwhile, the airline and FBI scrambled to gather the ransom money and parachutes, as instructed. At 5:39 p.m., Flight 305 landed in Seattle. The FBI delivered the ransom money, $200,000 in $20 bills, pre-recorded with serial numbers, and 4 parachutes, including a dummy one. Cooper released all passengers unharmed, keeping only a few crew members aboard. Then he gave his final instructions. Head towards Mexico City. Maintain an altitude of 10,000 feet. Keep the airspeed below 200 knots. Leave the rear staircase extended. The crew didn't know why he insisted on these unusual settings. But Cooper had a plan.
At approximately 8 p.m., somewhere over the dense forests of southwestern Washington, Cooper made his move. Carrying the ransom strapped to his chest and 2 parachutes, he opened the aft staircase of the Boeing 727. In the stormy night, with freezing rain and 200 miles per hour winds, Cooper jumped into the abyss. No one saw him again. When the plane landed safely in Reno, Nevada, FBI agents found nothing but Cooper's black tie left behind on his seat. The man had simply vanished. The FBI launched one of the most extensive manhunts in history. They combed through the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest, searching riverbanks, forests, and logging areas. Air and ground teams, dogs, helicopters, nothing. Over 800 suspects were investigated. Thousands of tips poured in, but none led to the true identity of Dan Cooper. Mistakenly referred to as D.B. Cooper due to a media error, that name would stick forever. Years passed. In 1980, a young boy found a decaying bundle of $5,800 in $20 bills buried along the Columbia River, money from Cooper's ransom, verified by serial numbers. But no other trace of Cooper, alive or dead, was ever found. Who was D.B. Cooper? Some believed he didn't survive the jump, that he perished in the wilderness, his body lost forever. But others were convinced he was an expert, possibly a military paratrooper or former CIA operative. Several suspects gained attention. Richard Floyd McCoy, a hijacker who pulled a similar stunt 5 months later. Kenneth Christensen, a former Northwest Orient employee. Even theories involving Cooper being a disgruntled Boeing employee seeking revenge. Yet, no solid evidence has ever tied anyone to the crime. D.B. Cooper became a symbol of anti-establishment rebellion. Books, documentaries, even songs immortalized his daring heist. Year after year, Cooper's legend only grew. He became a folk hero who had outsmarted the government and escaped into history. In 2016, after 45 years of investigation, the FBI officially closed the case, admitting defeat. To this day, no one knows what happened to D.B. Cooper. Did he survive and blend into society, living quietly with his fortune? Or did his body rot in some forgotten forest, A victim of his own gamble? The skies over Washington hold their secrets well, and the name D.B. Cooper echoes as one of the greatest mysteries of American true crime. A man with nerves of steel, who pulled off the impossible and vanished without a trace. No fingerprints, no face, no confession. Just a name, a legend. Like and subscribe for more true crime stories. Comment below. Do you think D.B. Cooper survived?